shaped like this. So this is two circles, like this, two circles. Of those two circles is how everything travels, because nothing stays still. If it becomes still, it is stagnant. It is stagnant. But as soon as it starts to activate, it can only look at itself. So if you're traveling down a string, you're either attached to it by your sight, like I'm looking at it like this, or you can be attached to it like that, but you can walk across it. So if you think of how you travel, is along these lines. It's along these lines. It's like travelling along the line. So if I was to do it, and I was doing it like that before, it's actually that you use this arm here, and you go and look here. It goes all the way around, and then you have to shift around to then come down with this arm. And then you can come back down. And that's the patterns. But when you were looking at me, my two circles lead exactly behind me. From your perception, if you're looking at me there, this circle will map behind me. Behind me, from your perception. It changes in accordance to your perception, because we have mind, spirit, body. Of these 3 points, imagine strings coming out of them. If you focus your attention onto something, that's a string of attention. If you're thinking it's inside, it's a string of attention. If your heart reaches out to something, that is a string of attention. If your gut is activated anyway, like you're thinking about physical occurrence, it activates this. Of those three, like how it impacts you in the physical, when these three chords connect up, the centre of where you're looking, the centre of your perception is where they join up. What you're thinking about is where they join up. So let's say I'm thinking about this guy here. I'm thinking about that. That is the centre. So these three chords go towards it and then to somewhere else, because this is the way it goes. It goes in before going out, and that's you there are the point. So you see the other patterns, and this is why I go down on my leg, because it's like when you hit a quartz, you get electricity. That electricity, they'll say it's not electricity, it's dielectricity. It's the opposite to that electricity. It's the one on the earth. So me doing this, I'm trying piezo. Piezo electricity is the kind of electricity that's created from a quartz being hit. And just because we don't get it doesn't mean it isn't there. So this is the way it works. The earth is spinning and it's going around like this. The reason I correlate it to earthquakes is because we have the Coriolis effect from the wobble of the tilt of the earth plus the moon plus the sun. We are basically facing the sun. That is affecting us. The solar winds, the solar flares, or the coronal holes. The coronal holes are, and there's a difference between propagation and permeation, and it's not about that, it's a perturbation. When you do this on a rope, it's not this part that you even see. You don't see this here, you just see this end, and then you see each whip. It's a perturbation. So earthquakes are perturbations based upon this coming round here as a positive and negative, and as it jumps, one carries on as a single, and the other one jumps off. That's why that's where the dielectricity, it's where it gets charged up. You gain both electricities, and then it's no longer just die. That's why we get an earthquake. It creates a moment of torque. That's why we keep getting shapes that are like this, that are triangles, because it's a torque. It's torque. Like doing this, it torques. Things talk around, and that's the way it works. But this is, I hoped for 3 minutes, very much dealt here. But this has been Manifestation. Thank you very much. Much love.